Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission. This is being multi-streamed live, believe it or not, except on YouTube and the other platforms, so I can upload them and take my time with thimbles and do a good job. So guys, what is happening? Well, guys, we're having a bit of a problem on the channel. I am getting anywhere from 15 to 50 subscribers per day, according to actual looking at my subscribers by name individually. And yesterday I got 22 subscribers, but my subscriber count is not moving. It is actually staying exactly where it's at. And what's happening, I'm thinking this is what's happening. They are setting the subscriber count to a way where it doesn't increase, so then they can throttle back the views on the channel. I have 4,200 videos, and unfortunately, I'm struggling to get 100 views now of any video I put out now, and any older video is getting no views. So what they're trying to do is going to throttle back the channel to huge numbers so that they could just take it down. And this way they could take it down and they could say it's not a profitable channel and they could just get rid of me. So that's what they're looking to do. I've already backed up all the major series, like the Merit Harassment series, all the other big series on here, Starting a Business from Scratch. I backed up most of Mike in the Night, and I've been transporting it to here on BitChute, Brighton, and BitTubers. I'll show you guys what it looks like here. Here it is. This is BitChute right here. If you guys could support me, I got 88 subs on there already, and my channels are getting and my videos are getting views without any hesitation or no problem. Same thing with Brighton. I'm on Brighton also. Don't forget to get on there. You can find the tabs on the top of my right channel here. I'm plugging this at the beginning because it's important that you guys know what's happening, because you might not be seeing me on YouTube anymore. YouTube's going to turn into CNN anyway. No one's going to go on there anyway. And then you have BitTubers. BitTubers, I got 15 subscribers. Look, and I'm getting 100 plus views on some videos with 15 subscribers. How do you figure? Go figure. How is this possible? Anyways, guys. All right. So people are telling me, Mike, prices are going up in housing. Prices are set to take off in housing. Why aren't you covering it? You talk about housing on your channel all the time. I did cover it. I covered it right here. BC housing recovery fueled and rising. And rebounding. I covered it on last week's November 27 trends in the housing market. I covered it the week before that one. Sydney and Melbourne house prices could surge by 20%. I covered it on November 13th. I covered it the week before that. Chinese buyer ready to flock back to Australia's cheap property market and see a recovery in the housing crisis. Toronto. Look, September, single-family home sales raised 283% from last year. Guys, I've been covering the housing price takeoff. I'm not hiding from it. I know I've been predicting a crash for years, but I wasn't predicting what the government was going to do behind the scenes, okay, guys? And what the banks were up to and what all these... if you go by textbook 101, Business 101 Basics, this whole housing thing should have been rebooted a long time ago. Okay, I wouldn't even be talking about this right now, okay? I'd be talking about hamsters and puppy. Well, I can't talk about that because now it attracts a younger crowd. Okay, so yes, so this is not something I haven't been talking about. I've been talking about this now for over 2.5 months. We've been seeing the phenomena, okay? Okay. So what is happening right now? We have here on Perth TV. Now, you guys know what happened in Perth, Australia. Perth, Australia took one of the biggest dips in the Commonwealth. Perth and Richmond Hill, Ontario were the two biggest drops in a really quick turnaround. Richmond Hill, Ontario, and Perth, Australia, okay? Property prices. So Perth is bouncing back according to this, but what is fueling it? We covered this in another video where Chinese are coming back in huge numbers, seeing a decline in the Australian dollar and a slight strength in the yuan, and seeing also what was it? A decline in housing prices. Australia right now, Perth, especially Perth, is looking like a good deal for foreign investing. So, this is from today's dates. Property prices rose back rose at a bare-neck pace in November at record low interest rates, and loser lending standards fueled demand in the sector that has gone from bust to boom since mid-year. So, guys, do you remember what the loser lending? Remember Westpac and all these banks that are getting fined with all this money laundering and all this cheating they're doing? Well, it's showing in the markets. It's clearly showing a rebound in the housing market. Why, Mike? Why housing? Well, in Canada, $200 billion laundered through real estate with illegal money. Same thing happening in Seattle, same thing happening in Oregon and California. But the thing is, a lot of these countries now are so heavily tied to housing that it almost makes me feel like a conspiracy theorist saying they purposely plan this out to basically take over these countries and buy everything and take over, and the Australian proper has no chance. It was the 5th straight month of gains and potential boon for customer spending. It's boon, not boom. For customer spending power for 2 years downturn chipped away at the household wealth and confidence. Remember the last 18 quarters? Perth has been on the decline since 2014, guys, because of the mining sector, kaboom, went down, right? The sector has been the clearest winner from the Reserve Bank of Australia easing campaign, having cut rates 3 times since June to a historic low of 0.75%. The central bank holds its December policy meeting on Tuesday, and it's widely expected to hold steady as it gauges the full impact of the past stimulus. So the past stimulus impact, it will catch up, and it takes about anywhere from 1 to 5 years to really start seeing changes in people's spending habits, debt-to-income ratios, you know what I'm saying? Monday's data of property consultant CoreLogic showed home prices across the country rose 1.7% in November from October, when they climbed 1.2%. It was the largest monthly gain since 2003. Prices were up 0.1% from a year ago, the first positive reading since April of last year. Values across the state's territorial capital cities rose 2.0% in November, led by 2.7% surge. So this is what's happening right now. So price houses are starting to see a rebound in Perth. You should be seeing a rebound in Perth, especially with the amount of foreign investing retaking their position as head of the purchasing power. Sydney, Melbourne house prices surge accelerated in November. So again, already unaffordable for a majority of Australian proper. A lot of them moved to Hobart or up the Gold Coast, which the Gold Coast right now is being bought up by foreign investors. So that's another one that's not gonna. So all of this, house prices in most Australian cities are surging, with the average prices nationally posting their first annual growth in 19 months, even as the economy continues to splutter. The widely watched CoreLogic Home Value Index jumped 1.7% nationally in October, taking the index to a small annual rise of 0.1%. There you go. CoreLogic's head of research, Tim, said that this was the first national annual home price growth since April 2018. So there it is. Australia's House of Cards. I actually made a video called Australia's House of Cards like 2 years ago. For those who've been watching me for years, thank you so much. And if the channel gets hacked, oh well. Metro Vancouver real estate rebounding faster than expected, says report. This is from 4 days ago. And despite measures to slow Metro Vancouver housing market, there's more evidence it's ramping up again. Sales have risen significantly. Brian Yu with Central One says the local house says of the whole local housing market, Central One's largest BC real estate housing outlook points to a number of factors fueling the rebound. Let's see if they see it here. First, all mortgage rates have come off substantially since a year ago, where buyers were easily getting 5-year rates at 2.5 to 2.6% range. That has been a significant driver for individuals waiting on the sidelines looking to get into the market. Adding to that has been a drop-off in home prices in the region by 10%. So this might be a big attraction to speculators to come in and say, wait, maybe if I could get 10% on my $2 million tear-down bungalow, that might not be too bad, right? Home ownership remains out of reach for many households. So let's rephrase that. How home ownership remains out of reach for many middle-class, working poor Canadians, Australians, New Zealanders, and UKers, and Western United States of America. Says decades of insufficient construction. And so now they're blaming insufficient supply and demand. They're not looking at the millions of empty homes in the Commonwealth. Millions of empty homes in the Commonwealth. So let's move on to something else. Toronto housing prices jumped the most since 2017, the year the market peaked. There it is. Sales jumped 14% with the detached townhomes leading the biggest gain. Remember, sales, not prices, but sales are going up. So you might start to see a move in prices. I've spoken to Stephen Thomas in Melbourne. He's saying there's a lot of Chinese investing coming in from Hong Kong. And then I spoke to, I can't say his name, a real estate agent in Toronto, saying that basically a lot of people from Hong Kong are coming in and they're buying up Toronto and Vancouver real estate. That's what they told me. That's what's on their books. That's what they're telling me. I can't tell you who it is in Toronto because I don't want to get them in trouble. The year the market peaked, so sales jumped again. Toronto's housing market continued to bounce higher in October, with prices rising the most in almost 2 years amid dwindling supply. The benchmark price, which accounts for the differences in the type of homes sold, rose 5.8% from a year ago, 810,900. The Toronto Real Estate Board said it reported on Tuesday, the biggest jump since December 2017, and takes it to within $4,300 of the record set in mid 2017. Wow. So here it is. There's the drop. There's the drops. We home sales, and we've been predicting a correction because I've been banking on the Canadian proper to either one, have a civil war, or two, basically start taking their money out of their bank account or something to go against or sit back and let everyone from other countries buy up their country. I don't know. I don't know. I thought this was going to be a correction right here in 2016. This is the correction I thought we were going to see, but I was dead wrong. So we held off to 2017. They kept lowering rates. First-time home buyers, 0% down mortgages all over the place. And then 2018, same thing. And then 2019, interest-only mortgages and lowering interest rates again. And then first-time home buyer loans, again, get reintroduced. So I couldn't predict that kind of stuff, but I could predict from Business 101, this would have been a correction a long time ago. This would have been in proper motion. London stock-starved housing market sees asking prices rebound. Again, asking prices for London homes. So the average values climb to 603,000 pounds at 778,000 US on average, right? So you could pick up a house in London if you want for about 800,000 US. An empty shell of a city, nobody there, and it's got a huge stabbing record rate, 33 stabbings a night in London. The people get reported at the hospital. That's the ones that get reported, right? Properties in London Central Transport Zone saw asking prices jump 6.4% from September, making it the only... So it's not the British, the UK proper or the London proper doesn't have money. They're completely broke. 8 million people in London are living in complete poverty, below the poverty level, and in these I don't know what you want to call them, hovels. Okay? So it's not what you guys think. You know, they're living great in London. No, they're not. It's 8 million people. So they're blaming Brexit. At least London or the United Kingdom has a story to tell their people. Well, it's the UK. It's Brexit. It's what it is. You know, we're housing price. No, the same phenomenon is happening in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and Western United States, the gateway to Asia, right? So this is becoming a huge problem, a huge problem. So what are people going to do? Do we I guess we surrender and let it happen and see what happens? You know, do we start changing our official languages over time to accommodate to others? Like, what do we do? Because because the Canadian, Australian, all the Commonwealth are not having children, so they're not repopulating. One, because it's too expensive. Two, they can't buy a house and lay roots and properly raise a family like they were raised or their grandparents were raised. And the Gen Xers know what I'm talking about. So What do we do? How do we fix this problem, right? If prices take off, they're just set to take off. Why? Because all the lining, the silver lining and everything is in place to make it so. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, guys, I don't want to talk too much. Guys, I need you to come on here. If you want to support me on Patreon, go ahead. But I am on right here. Get on Brighton. Get on BitChute. Links are up top here. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. I got 3 other platforms I'm working on now, which I'm growing on. And I'm getting a record amount of views. Like, I'm already several thousand views. I opened this channel last week. I have several thousand views on my videos with 15 subscribers. I can't get several thousand views on my videos on YouTube anymore with 11,300 subscribers on 10 videos. On 10 videos here, I get more views on BitTubers. So get on BitTubers too, guys. And the more you watch my videos, the more it updates my budget. So I gain experience from views, and then this way, I don't have to pay for the platform. If not, I don't mind paying 18, I think it's 18 euros a month for the platform. I don't mind paying 18 euros a month. I don't mind. But then you got to support me on Patreon at least to offset that. At least support me on Patreon. So what they're going to do is they're going to throttle back and strangle all the channels. That's why I haven't moved a single subscriber since, I think, June or July of this year. Because they've already had this plan in motion. So basically this way then I don't get no income. And then basically they throttle back all my views. So then it's non-profitable channel for them, so they could just kick it out and they'll destroy it on December 10th. But then a lot of people will start losing subscribers because they're going to be deleting all these channels. So I'm gonna discontinue my YouTube Prime and all my stuff, and then I'm done from YouTube. There's nothing I could do, right? With them just December 10th, they're going to be removing. They're saying about 8 million channels. This is what I'm forecasting. This is what they're forecasting, right? All right. So I did get an email from YouTube saying, you know, profitability levels, how much your channel needs to make it profitable for YouTube. And I could be making that if I had 2,000 subscribers and they kept me on the old system. With 2,000 subscribers, I would have made their quota. But with 11,300, it means absolutely nothing. Videos that are not getting any views. And guys, don't bother even sharing this one out. Don't even share this video. Don't waste your time. Just go to Brighton, go to BitTubers, or go to BitChute. So you got 3 options here. Links are up top. And if you want to support me on Patreon with $1 a month, that's $12 a year. That helps out this transmission very much. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and thanks for your support, guys. I appreciate it.